Well, we just came back from a great sporting weekend. The Springboks coming 10 points down and beating the All Blacks at Ellis Park Stadium. I actually went to watch Orlando Pirates hosting Cape Town City, and the Buccaneers are going now to their third final. This is the fifth final for Jose Rivero, Al Padres, the Spanish guitar. These guys are really becoming the cup of kings of South Africa. Yes, they haven't won the MTN8 as yet, but they are there to defend it for the third time in a row. Sunday came. All hopes were high for Mangowa Mngiti to overcome the wine boss of Stellenbosch, but we have failed yet again to beat Stellenbosch. And Stellenbosch go to the final after a 2-0 aggregate, winning the second leg 1-0 at Moses Mabhida Stadium. Yes, I do go by the name of successive football, discuss, engage on anything to do with football from Africa to the world and from the world to Africa. Where do I even start? It's important that we make mention of players who were just out of who performed on a very high level this past weekend. And I think if there was a player of the weekend on the two semifinals, without any shadow of doubt, it must be Dion Hotto. I was there. I witnessed it with my own very naked eye. First off, he was on the left, and he took that young boy, he put him in his pocket. Rhodes did nothing, was nowhere to be found because of Dion Hotto. This guy is fit as a horse. He could have even played 180 minutes. At some point, Gonzalez was giving Thabiso Monyane problems because they were overloading his side. They changed him. They brought in the captain, Maela, and Dion Hotto. Guess what? After he went there, Gonzalez was quiet. They had to take him out as well. So Dion Hotto, by far, was the player of the semifinals. And I was actually disappointed. I'm not sure if the factor of playing at a high altitude was actually the thing that actually... Because when these guys came second half, I'm talking about Cape Town City, I mean, the tank was empty. They were just tired. The first two substitutes were Mukocho and Hashim Domingos. The first half, Domingos was nowhere to be found. He could not do anything right. I'm not sure the reason why Camus was taken out. I'm not sure it was because of the yellow card or maybe he was injured. I had a knock. I'm not really sure. But the guys that were introduced, it was Goedeman and the striker from Fan, Sekue. Goedeman coming in for Mukocho, that means that the Namibian defender had to push to the middle and play that defensive role. But the guy from France, I know he has not had a lot of time with the guys because he just signed for Cape Town City 2 weeks ago. But it appeared like the guy had been playing from the first half. He looked exhausted. I don't remember him taking a shot on goal. But overall, Orlando Pirates at Orlando Stadium, they are like a wall of Jericho. They don't allow anything to go past them. They've got the strength of a horse. They've got an endurance of a camel. I mean, I'll say this, and without any fear or favor, that Masangane, I think he really needs to be wise and actually even look at how Relebohile Mufokeng is maturing. Some of these stunts, playing on the ball, one day they will kill Orlando Pirates because he loses possession in critical areas of the field. One day, a team that can score will punish Orlando Pirates because of these tricks of Patrick Masawa. This is not even an attack on the guy, but just to say, if you want to do these tricks, just be aware of who's in front of you, who's behind you, who's on your left, and who's on your right. But having said all of that, it was a good all-round performance by Orlando Pirates. Chain was untroubled first half. The central pairing of Nda and Sesana, it is growing, and it seems like it's going to be the partnership. Sesana is reminding Amapagapaga and all of us who love football of an OJ Mabizela. And you had a Saleng, you had a Mabasa who scored a beautiful header. Come on, guys. I think I'm very disappointed with the performance of Darren Kidd. You end up asking yourself if these guys, are they already betting or what? I mean, Darren Kidd was poor on Saturday. And but overall, Orlando Pirates, they deserve to go and defend their MTN8. Cape Town City, they could not match them in the second half. And they scored the important goals, Orlando Pirates, that is, in the first half. And the job was done. There was no way City was going to come back from that. And congratulations to Ama Baga. Now, Mamelodi Sundowns. It would be nice to sit here and talk about how poor Mamelodi Sundowns is, what's lacking, how we don't recognize this Mangoba ball, how we don't recognize how Mamelodi Sundowns is playing in this season. It would be nice. But let us just take a magnifying glass and just put it over Steve Barker. Steve Barker have sold big players. He sold Van Veek. He sold Reynolds. He sold Van Rooyen. But it seems like the standard, the intensity of how they played last season is going higher and higher and higher. I believe and I think and I'm convinced that the strength of this Stellenbosch side is their spine. You have Stevens, the goalkeeper. You have Ture, the Ivorian, the centre back. You have Sihlandule, the CDM, or the defensive midfielder. In front of him, you have a number 10, probably the most underrated number 10 or attacking forward in South Africa, Andre de Jong. That is their spine. Now, in and around these spines, Stevens, Ture, Sihlandule, and Andre de Jong, you've got amazing, intelligent, skillful, pacey players. You've got a Mujela, you've got a Titus, you've got a Jabbar, you've got a Molisiane at the right back, you've got Basadin left back. I mean, even on the bench, when they introduce some of these players, there were Jurgens who's replacing Van Rooyen as the right back. It seems like Steve Barker's Stellies are going to be a threat yet again this season. Remember, they won their first official silverware in the Premium Division of South Africa when they won the Carling Knockout Black Label Cup. And now they are in, first time in the final of MTN8. It's not going to be an easy one, but it's going to be a very, very technical, highly technical match. And Steve Barker seems like is underrated as a coach in this country. Mamelodi Sundowns, oh lolo. I don't know whether they are going forward or they are going backwards. But what I will say, even as a Mamelodi Sundowns fan, is that I will stick by this, that we need to support Mangoba Mngiti and his technical team. Even if we don't see what is happening, even if it seems like, you know what, I feel for players like Jody February, because whoever will be the goalkeeper after a Williams, we will always compare. The natural thing for a fan of anyone who watches Mamelodi Sundowns is to compare the previous goalkeeper to the current one. And Jody February will always compare him to how Ronwen Williams played. There are times where Jody had an opportunity to trap the ball and give it to Mudao, or give it to Grant, or give it to Lebusa, or give it to Mashiko, or Mudao, or Mudiba. But more often than not, it doesn't look like February has got the confidence to trap the ball, hold it and relax, and just look as to who's open. But he will just javelin the ball, javelin the ball, javelin the ball. And when you do that, you are giving the opponents, the confidence to constantly high press and press all the defenders, because they know there are guys at the back, Ture, your Sihle, Molisiane, Basadin, they'll be ready. They'll be ready to fight for a high ball. And anything that is up there, it's anyone's ball. So February, if Mamelodi Sundowns is to improve, at least by building from the back, he will be central to that. But how things have gone in the past 3 matches, he is not comfortable with, even doing short passes unless there's no one putting pressure on him. But if there's players pressurizing him or pressing him, he kicks it out. I don't know how many balls he lost Saturday. This is not even, criticizing him. And I don't even know if it's an instruction from the bench, from Mangoba, or it's just how he plays. We wanted a Zwane. He was not there. Mokoena has been poor in the past 2 games. Let us just be open and be frank about that. One player that yes, he didn't have a lot of shots on goal because Toure was the man of the match for me. Sales was kept quiet by the Ivorian, but he looks like a sound player. You can see he can even drop into the midfield if there's a demand to do so. Litlako started the match. He did not do much. I'm still surprised as to the players who did well in the preseason, like a Masego and a Mabena. Mabena has not even started a single game. So we are not sure what is Mangoba actually trying to do with the players, whether they are in the squad or they are on the bench. So it is what it is. Mamelodi Sundowns did not deserve to be in the final, even if they went to the final playing the way they did. Yes, I know in the last 15 minutes or so there was just a flurry of attacks from Sundowns, hitting the post twice. And even if we had scored those 2 goals to make it 1-2 and progress to the final because of the away goal rule, we did not deserve to be there. And even if we were there, Pirates were going to smash us. Pirates were going to show us flames. So, Clive Barker and El Padre Spanish guitar, Jose Rivero, they deserve to be in the final. There's a lot of work to be done for Mangoba, for Hloza, and Steve Compella. But as things stand, the supporters of Mamelodi Sundowns, they are not happy, they are not impressed. And I still stand by this. Let us support Mangoba. Let us support the technical team. It cannot be that just after 3 games, we're already throwing our toys, we're throwing tantrums, we're already giving up, because we already know, all of us, we're comparing what is happening in Mamelodi Sundowns now to how Rulani played. So we really need to calm down and support the technical team. You don't have to agree with my opinion. This is just me. Mamelodi Sundowns is a big club and there's already pressure on the guy, and he's been at Sundowns for 10 years, but it doesn't show and how he plays that he's been there for 10 years. What does he learn from Roland? What does he learn from Mepito? It's not showing on how he wants to play on the field. Or is it maybe players who are not embracing the philosophy, the tactics of a Mangoba Mngete? Or is there another hand from somewhere, Flemingberg perhaps, who is influencing things at the current moment? I don't know. Was impressed with the effort of Kodisang. The boy is hungry. The boy really, you can tell he'll be instrumental in how we move forward. But the past 2 games for Mokoena, I've not been impressed. Mkulise, that Mangoba spoke highly of, he is not getting minutes. We also don't know why. Ribeiro, salute to you, and a lot of work to be done. Let's go back to the drawing board and correct a lot of errors for Mamelodi Sundowns. But it's more important to give credit to Stellenbosch FC and the Orlando Pirates, who have made it to the MTN8 final. That will be played, I think, in October. The venue has not been announced as yet. And while you are still on that, what has been your opinion about the past weekend? And please don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, comment on the section below, and never forget to subscribe and help me reach that 10,000 subscriber mark. And I end it there by saying, may my God bless you all.